Hi all, welcome to Alpha Talks, a series of talks with empowered women from different walks of life. Today we have a very bright, interesting and very unusual lady who is a career bureaucrat. She is the Postmaster General of Maharashtra. She also has experience in the atomic energy field, in information and broadcasting. She has profound knowledge in the areas of risk management, logistics, HR. She has done film production. She's also the recipient and felicitated by the National Film Award for a film she's made on Subhash Chandra Bose. So join me in welcoming the Postmaster General of Maharashtra, Swati Pandey. Welcome, Swati, to the show. I'm really grateful that you made the time. We're starting off immediately. So what motivated you to take up a career in bureaucracy?
Good morning, Namaskar. A very interesting question because I joined the civil services as a Union Postal Service officer when I was about 23, 24. So if I am going to be very honest, I did not think I would be a bureaucrat because I was a very passionate anthropologist. I used to work with UNICEF. I've had a career in field work, vis-a-vis tribal issues, tribal development. So bureaucracy came in because I was a good student at college and I had a bunch of friends who were writing the civil services. And they used to call me the activist kind, the Narmada kinds. That time, Narmada Bachao Andolan was a rage. And they said, hey, why don't you also write the exam? Because you are going to be the person who, when sitting in the other side, are from the government, you will do a whole lot of good because you're an activist any which ways. So I think I stumbled into bureaucracy more than being motivated to join bureaucracy.
Great. So what, if any, are the challenges you faced in your journey?
First of all, Malini, of course, you are a woman and you are one of the few women in a huge boardroom of men. Your issues are different. Your mindset while approaching a problem is very different. And it's a whole different perspective. I'm talking to you about right now about, decision-making mindset. I will not talk about me as a woman in the physical sense because that comes different. It's a different ballgame altogether. So I think that whenever there is an issue, a matter of policy or a matter of policy implementation, I believe that it should be done in a certain way because A, I had worked in the field. I told you I was an anthropologist before in a previous janma. And B, I'm a woman. So we come with a different perspective to solve a problem. Women, I always say, we are more solution-oriented than being problem-oriented. We solve issues for our family, for our children, for people around us, for friends. We are the problem solvers. So I think getting a middle point between what I believe should be done and what was the routine way of doing things was my biggest challenge. Malini, I still face that challenge today also. After 25 years in bureaucracy, the challenge is much lesser because I'm known to be a very, I'm a person who does not listen, and once I know what I need to do, I just do it. So I've become a tornado in sorts. But when I was younger, I doubted my own wisdom, and I think that will be the biggest challenge that I would say that I faced the bureaucracy.
Gosh, you must be an inspiration to so many people. But do you have somebody you have inspired to be or you've been inspired by?
I think inspirations often come from your own family. My own inspiration has been my father. He was a doctor, but he has a fascinating journey. And there's a Chinese saying called that may you have an interesting life. I personally believe that it can be a pain rather than a boon if somebody has an interesting life. Because my daddy was about 13 years old when India was partitioned. 1947, he belonged to East Bengal. So that became, after partition, East Pakistan, a Hindu minority in that time, an Islamic country. And partition wars, we all know, it has been documented, but he joined he alone because his family stayed back. He had just completed his 10th standard. He was about age 14. He joined a caravan of Hindu refugees in East Bengal or East Pakistan, and they had to walk in a caravan all the way from Mymensingh, which was about 300 kilometers from Dhaka, to Kolkata. His daddy was an advocate in the Dhaka High Court, and he came to Bengal and he was on the streets in Bada Bazaar. He lived his life on the streets for 6 months. You must imagine how life would be then, because he came from an affluent Hindu family. And he always told me that I am thankful to the Marwadis of Kolkata, Bada Bazaar, who actually donated, had dharamshalas for these young refugee children who had come in during partition. And when I saw my father, he was a doctor. So I think the journey from a 13-year-old, 14-year-old refugee to being a doctor, to being responsible for his family back in Bangladesh, today of course it's Bangladesh, that time it was East Pakistan, to us, and a journey which he was picked up by the Ramakrishna Mission, and how he struggled, and yet he put his entire life in selfless service without malice to any religion. I learned a lot, Malini, and today when I sit with my pen, because our pens are our strengths, I just feel that I should do justice to this memory of absolute, egalitarian behavior that I learned.
What a great tribute to your dad. Really, honestly, that was amazing. Now, being Postmaster General, how do you see yourself evolve the postal services, especially today in today's competitive environment where you are, which is driven by technology, reliability, response time?
Very interesting question and absolutely opportune question, because this has been my goal, that to propagate the modern look of India Post. We are not, bygone era Department of Post is long back in our history. And I keep on telling people and also giving press bites about how we have modernized. Today, if you know that if you get a postman delivery, my postman does it through an app called Postman app. Entire delivery is system driven. Right from the point of you book an article in the post office, an SMS alert is sent to both you, the person who is booking, and to your receiver also. So they know so and so article is booked in so and so post office and will be coming to you. So you are aware. That's system driven. It was never done then. Once in the point of delivery, it is done through an app. So you will have to do a digital signature of what you receive. So the entire system of delivery and logistics is app-based. You get an alert the day the postman is supposed to go to your house for delivery. So this is the letter writing system. When you say people don't write letters, Malini, Bombay, I take care of Mumbai Postal Service, and my monthly mail business, Speed Post, registered post, is about 40 to 50 crore monthly I earn from mails only. So there you go, the misconception that there is no mails. But let me also tell you that India Post runs a small savings bank, that is Post Office Savings Bank, which is one of the biggest banks in the country vis-a-vis savings bank. We have also launched the India Post Payment Bank, which is an app-driven internet banking facility where you can do all your payments through an app. Plus, we have, a smart postman scheme where my postman, or track your postman, where my postman will give every addressee his digital visiting card. And if you want the postman to come and give you money at doorstep, we also have doorstep banking. You do not need a bank account with India Post. You can have an Aadhaar linked bank account with any bank in the country. And if you need money to the tune of 25,000 per day, which happens to older people because most older people here do not have firm children taking care. So they're, lone parents. They just need to call the postman or the post office and we doorstep deliver money, cash up to 25,000. So I think these are multiple changing facets of a modern post office, which I'm happy talking to you because I think through these programs, we can propagate that we have completely changed pace. We are not only at the, doing the job of delivering your letters, which we are doing with pride, but we are also one of the biggest bankers to the nation vis-a-vis financial inclusion.
Thank you so much. That is an amazing insight because, there's a lot that people don't know about. So that was amazing. What, according to you, are the requirements for a woman to be empowered and successful?
Here, I would quote Amartya Sen. I agree with him in many ways and I disagree with him in ways, Malini. But what I agree with him is a true road to empowerment for a woman is financial independence. When I say financial independence, I do not mean she should be independent of her family. It is wrongly misunderstood by feminists that financial independence vis-a-vis translates to complete independence from family. No, she should, the moment she is a financially earning member, she has a say in her family's decisions. And most of us need to have a say in our family decisions. For me, the true goal to empowerment, the true road to empowerment is certainly financial independence. Nothing else. The rest is all soft talk or brouhaha.
So true. Absolutely correct. I totally agree with you. What is the role of your parents or your family in your success? What part have they played?
I sadly came from family where my parents are doctors. So even if I wanted to not work or not study further, Malini, I don't think it was a fait accompli. When your mother my father was 1952 pass out from Kolkata Medical College and my mother is a 62 pass out from Cuttack Medical College. My mother is an Odia. So that time Odisha and she was a female, lady doctor. So what do I say? I think I inherited this. I have been one of the lucky few that it just came naturally to be where I am because I had to emulate my parents and be a little better than them. So I would say I just, I was a copycat to my parents. I owe them everything.
Amazing. That's really, really a great heritage to have, a great, lineage. And it's lucky. I have to say we are blessed to have that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I do agree. I had a strong mother, a working mother, and a doctor. So she was away all odd hours. So I have inherited this.
Great. So how will you use your success or, your empowered status and your experience to inspire the youth, especially the young girls today? How can you use that?
Again, I really like this question because I have a lot of young people asking me that how difficult or how easy has it been? My only answer to them is that each of us must have a dream and we must be very passionate. And there is no shortcut to hard work. I am here, yes, my parents inspired me, but every day I tell, my family tells me that if it's 24 hours, why is it that you work 32 hours? I believe that, this status of super women is a misnomer. A woman to be successful needs to put in 32 hours. There is no shortcut to success. There is no shortcut to success there is no road to success without hard work. So my only message, and that's how I tell young women, that please remember, we are possibly the second generation in a huge socio-biological setup that is trying to make a mark in a landscape which was hitherto completely populated by men. I won't say we are the first generation, Malini, we are the second generation because our mothers also did do it, right? Yes, the brunt is more on us because now we are actually actually competing and finding space amongst men. So it is more tougher. But there are two things to this. One, dedication, hard work and dreaming. And B, men are not our enemies. They are partners, even in our workforce. This is what I always tell young women, that do not approach anything in life with men being against you. They want to be with you. You please take them in your stride. They are your friends and partners in every role. That is what it is.
I totally agree with you, and I hope women like you, are able to, because we are not the kind who want to be ahead, but we don't want to be behind either.
No, absolutely.
Let's hope we can create a world where, we can walk tall and side by side, strongly.
We just want a place by them in the table. And that's how simple it is.
Exactly. So, another very important thing, how do you manage your work-life balance?
This, for me, is one of the most twisted questions possible. I know I see a lot of women answering with a lot of aplomb. For me, the question is wrong. There is no work-life balance. Or the balance occurs not on a day-to-day basis, it occurs in the span of time. Because, there can never be a work-life balance. You choose either one. Because you are a human, your CPU has a certain capacity. It is not infinitely stretchable. I wish it was. I know a lot of people say it's infinitely stretchable, and mind you, if it could have been infinitely stretchable, I would have stretched it, But I say I will answer this question in a long span of life. When I was younger, and I say this is empirical data because I've been an anthropologist. So I also look around, people, and I collect data in my head. I cannot stop collecting data. Though I do not write reports on the data today, but I still collect data. And we were all younger, and I'm sure you will agree, because even you're a working woman. We prioritized our family. So we let our careers on the back burner. Yes, we were working women, but we put more, attention to our family. We were newly married, so we had a new married life to take care. We did not know the guy we were married to, a completely change of environment, change settings. They were not our parents. He was not our brother. They were not adjusting. We had young children. First time mothers, really. This romance about being mothers, did anybody tell us it was just hard work? I tell my kid that if I knew it was hard work, I would have not been a mother. Because it is such a romantic, the romantic notion has been sold so that we want to be mothers. Because if people told us that it's hard work, I think we would have thought twice. So I think the work life, that time we gave attention to our life, families. And later, when our children grew up, we had marriages settled. It became work. So for me, it's in the span of my career, that initial 10 years, I put it for my life. And now I'm settled, I work, I think of the road ahead vis-a-vis work and career. So balance, no Malini. Day to day, no. Today I am accused of putting more time to my work and less time to my family. But then there was a time I put much more to my family, a little lesser to them. So there goes your question of balance.
Great. It's almost like a 5-year or 10-year plan, no? And then you prioritize on a daily basis.
You have to. I don't see a day-to-day balance. It can't happen.
Well, you're a multifaceted personality that we all know. What I want you to throw light on is on some of your other interests, especially if you could touch a little bit on your NGO and also on your amazing refurbishment plans of the iconic GPO.
I find myself to be Alice in Wonderland. The entire world around me, I'm wondered at the multiple stuff we can do, and I wish I was like Durga with 10 hands so I could do all together. Because I really tell myself I'm an Alice in Wonderland kind of person. I'm very curious about everything, Malini. So I have been a filmmaker, and I have been lucky enough to have won the National Film Award. My film was a tribute to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, that coming from my Bengali lineage. I wrote about Mumbai GPO. I wrote a book called Dawn Under the Dome. And that is when I realized that Mumbai GPO, being a 117-year-old building, was not really ever, there was no action plan to renovate it. So I took up this major job of renovation. I'm very happy to share that I've finished phase 1. The Eastern Block is completely renovated, but it is a 3-year project, long way to go. My dome is getting renovated, so I will proudly present the city of Mumbai a swanky new refurbished dome. It's getting illuminated. So I've become a passionate conservationist vis-a-vis historical heritages that we house ourselves in. I am a very, very keen textile, historian. I was yesterday in the VGIT giving a lecture to the textile engineering students about how we have always been a global nation. The world has always been a melting pot because the first known textiles in ikat. Ikat is a type, my blouse is an ikat. So the first known ikat today, radiocarbon dated, has been found in Egypt, which is 5,000 years old, and it was in Odisha. So 5,000 years ago, it was a global world. So what are you talking about globalization today? What are you talking about silos today? And of course, like you said, that I work in Kamatipura. I don't run an NGO at all. I'm not affiliated to any, but I've brought all the NGOs in Kamatipura and I work for the commercial sex workers and getting them and their children Aadhaar cards without any KYC documents, because Government of India has a lot of schemes and programs and scholarships vis-a-vis direct benefit transfer. But it cannot be done without Aadhaar cards. Aadhaar cards cannot be done without KYC documents. As a result, whatever the government wants to, give is not given to the people directly. There is a middleman. So fighting the, breaking silos, getting Aadhaar cards for people without KYCs in specific areas, and getting them the government facilities and all government benefits vis-a-vis DBT schemes, direct benefit transfer schemes, I think is my biggest feather in the cap, because this is affecting people who are not acknowledged or accepted in our society. You turn your face the other way when you talk about a commercial sex worker. I think, embracing them physically also and being with them vis-a-vis whatever power the government bestows on me is my currently greatest.
Gosh, you bust so many myths about just being a bureaucrat. You are a woman of so many different dimensions. And I think we can have 10 talk shows and they'll still not be enough to cover every aspect of what you do. Thank you so much for being who you are and being such an inspiration. And thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Malini ji. It's wonderful because you yourself are a person who inspires me. I have always believed that what you did with your brand about getting, the tribal beadwork back, Indian embroidery back into vogue. So it's such a great conversation to have with you, and a learning between sisters which should go along.
Thank you. Thank you again for being a part of this. Thank you.